it in the tournament, and Shen gets away from Darien. So a lot of what was
Ahri's
played in
still up.
last game we do not see.
So
Or at
Ahri's
least two.
Okay, so Ahri's not up anymore. They're gonna lock that in. But there is still Shen. Oh, never mind. Just Shen's banned.
So, right, we remember in the beginning of last game, Alex was up in CS heavily on Ahri. If he wants, he knows how Nagne is going to play that Ahri. He doesn't get his Fizz, but he knows that matchup play style already. So, he can pretty much be safe with his pick in mid. This is exactly where Alex wants to be from what he says in his interviews.
It's interesting, you know, the very early lock-in again of Ahri. We'll see what Alex decides to go up against it with this time. I mean, he's played so many different champions. It could even be something like that Kale we've seen from him before. Regardless, though, the things that are locked in here.
Right.
We have Corki for Genja. He's definitely happy with that pick because, like we said, it's the premier Trinity Force champion.
Yep.
He loves that item. He'll definitely be rushing it this time. Don't think he'll stop at the Phage.
He'll pick it out. Voidle is getting his Sona. He ups that percentage of having it almost throughout every game, and it's really just been, you know, something they even used when they had Edward. It's pivotal to the composition of what Gambit does, just having Sona. And it's not even something that Edward liked to play, as people might have heard as Gambit would play it. They would be like, no, it's too much utility. We need it on the team. So they pick up Sona again.
Yeah, anytime Sona's up, they grab that for Voidle. If she's not, they go straight down the list. Second pick is Zyra. Those are the only two supports he's really played, right?
Haven't seen Renekton in quite some time. Darien has pulled it out in one of the first few games and later games for Gambit, so he knows that matchup. If it is the 1v1, we get Elise as well out of the hands of Diamond, so they're kind of taking everything Diamond showed in that first game.
A lot of nice adaptations this time for Sword. Taking away the Fizz from bans. Shen was banned by Gambit because they are on purple side, and then also grabbing that Elise. Ooh, interesting. So we'll be more of a team fight oriented build here from Gambit this time, going with Orianna. She's also very good at giving that shield, shoring up any potential diving champions that they've used. So we'll probably see Darien and maybe even Diamond also.
Both open.
Both going with those melee dive champions.
Aatrox has been big, but Aatrox is played by both Darien and Diamond in the jungle, so it's a sweet pickup there for them. They keep it ambiguous, and we'll have to see what NaJin answers with. These are their final two. They want it again. It's going to be Thresh and that Twitch.
So they have the reposition possibility here with the Thresh, with the Lantern. That's something that you do need a lot of coordination to pull off, but it does shore up one of Twitch's weaknesses.
This is interesting as well, and Mani stated it last game that Ezreal's open, the Triforce is there in the 311 patch, and PraY strays away from it again.
I mean, like we said, what was it, like 60% or something use of Twitch by PraY in the
that's true.
over in Korea. It's banned against him all the time.
I guess that's the
he's
comfort
definitely
for
happy
him.
with that, and
Absolutely.
it does. Late game, it provides so much potential to killing the whole team. Like he gets those pass-through shots really allow him to carry very hard much later.
Very cool.
I really like this. So talk about Diamond champions. I was like, oh, Darien and Diamond probably going to get something to go straight in. Malphite, that's going to be the knock up into the Shockwave. So that's a huge amount of dive onto Twitch. And then not only Twitch, but everybody around Twitch.
Right.
So it is very teamfight centric here from Gambit. Again, they don't want to lose that global battle, so they're going to bring Teleport. I'm not the biggest fan of Teleport on Malphite, though, because you like him to be there at the beginning of fights.
Right.
To initiate them. And we've already seen in the last game how running Teleport is not the same as having something like Sanuite, because Diana would come in a few seconds later every single time. It takes a very long time for that Teleport to actually come in. We'll have to see how well Darien uses it. It's really, really depends on your timing, and definitely it's a different skill set that not a lot of people have.
It's an interesting pickup for that last one. It obviously used to get back to the Twitch line, used to peel off for his AD carry as well. We see the Thresh pick up again, and there was a little bit of back and forth between, you know, Double Lift and Crepo on, yeah, he has enough peel here, but some offer more peel type of thing, so we'll see if that works again for Thresh, or sorry, for Twitch with Thresh. But looking at that Malphite, so good, shutting down the attack speed of a frenzied up Elise, shutting down that Renekton as he dives in as well with the ground slam, and the Twitch, as we saw PraY's Twitch building the attack speed, the Blade of the Rune King into that Phantom Dancer, and also helping it scale with his coming out of Q invisibility. So It's different build rather than impact damage off an Infinity
He's
Edge.
Opted for barrier.
Yeah,
so
and barrier as well.
It's going to be it's much stronger for laning when you run that barrier, and it does mean that he's giving up, being able to cleanse off that attack speed debuff. But most of the CCs here from Gambit are knock-ups or movement displacements, which you can't cleanse. You can't cleanse knock-up, can't cleanse shockwave. The only thing he would be using that on would probably be the attack speed debuff or the Sona crescendo. So we'll have to see how Gambit can make use of this. They'll probably be looking towards Dragon a lot earlier than before because they have a really high Dragon potential, especially when Malphite is 6 and Sona is 6.
All right, so we are into match 2 here in this best of 3. We're trying to see Gambit, the second European team to come out of their group stage, get the second win here in the quarterfinals. Will they be able to do it against NaJin? This is match point for them. If NaJin keep themselves alive here, they're going to stretch Gambit into one more game of banning out their champions, figuring out how they work. We'll have to see if they can do it. Gambit, like you said, coming in with another fight, team comp. See if NaJin can avoid that again and go for the objectives as they did last game.
Interesting. So we have had Diamond, much like Loveland, when Loveland uses the jungle Aatrox, start out with his Q very early, try and get a little bit of charge into his blood wheel in the fountain so he can heal back up.
There it is.
You want to keep that thing very high for the potential of a level 1 fight, because if you don't fill it up at all, then your passive, you won't revive. If you'll just have a few health, come back to life with like 10 health, and it doesn't matter. You have to use health to be able to use that passive.
PraY and Kayn patiently waiting here off in the side. It doesn't look like they're going to get any aggression, but very safe wards coming from Gambit. Neither of these teams, we have to remember NaJin, they were on red last time, but they put wards all down the bottom side, and it looks like we're actually going to get matched up lanes here.
All right, so this ward definitely sees what PraY and Kayn are trying to pull off, and
Voidle trying to get the Q off.
Giving them a little song. But Diamond, though. Okay, so now I finally get to talk about some jungle Aatrox. He does use his smite, but Aatrox does not need that at all to clear anything in the jungle. He just wants to get to level 2 as quick as possible to get his W. The W is what Aatrox is all about in the jungle, because he can sustain forever. You won't see Diamond having to buy potions. When he gets below 50% HP like this, switches W over to the heal, and it heals for 3 times as much. That's why he also can start that Doran's Blade. The drawback for jungle Aatrox is that if you do fail your first gank and you do lose your passive, then the other team knows that they have this window, 3.5, almost 4 minutes, that they can go completely aggressive on you. Kayn
nice
now going extremely aggressive.
On to Voidle. Will be able to take him out. Sona, some of that low HP. The expunge is there. They get the first blood down onto Voidle. A little too sure of himself in lane there.
Kayn able to walk up right in range for that flay, and there was no coming out for Voidle. Didn't even burn his flash there. Just resigned to his death.
Good bit of trade in damage. We see Alex trying to grab an upper hand in mid as well. Draw attention there. All the buffs now picked up by Diamond. We'll see if he can get into a lane and facilitate any kind of gank for his team. Alex Ich is a level up here as the mid laners go back and forth, so we'll see if he tries any more aggression as he hits that 6 first.
This is extremely scary for all of Gambit, because we saw how much PraY was able to do last game without that early first blood. Now that he's got a strong, very early start, well, actually, we may even see him start to roam around and make use of his invisibility once he gets his Blade of the Ruined King. He has shown that he's a very offensive Twitch player, and he will not hesitate to look for those solo picks.
Alex in that mid lane choosing heavily to go for his dissonance damage, leveling that up. You can see it chunking out Nagne here. So as he hits 5 again, more points, more damage, and we're going to maybe have somewhat of a dive here. They're playing this one safe.
2 versus 2 here.
It's going to be a good counter gank. There it is onto Alex. Diamond waiting, and now he's going to go in. They try to get the damage right onto Nagne. Alex is going to go down. They are able to pick up a kill there. Nagne on the wing actually got it for himself. He gets a lifesteal back. No buffs are going to be secured for Nagne.
Watch didn't want to go in on that because the amount of healing that can come out of Aatrox at low levels can definitely bait you, but going for that passive on Aatrox would have been huge. That 2 versus 2 situation, though, it was all about initiative because Watch was the first one to make the move, and he landed the cocoon. so much early damage went in the favor of NaJin's sword that it was very, very difficult for Gambit to come out ahead in that one after just the initial few seconds.
NaJin trying to pressure every lane now. They saw Diamond was low in mid. They know they can throw out some kind of careless hooks in the bottom lane and relieve that pressure, but still hold it quite well. 5 minutes in, 2 kills already from NaJin, and it's been almost a flip-flop in the mid lane. We don't have the CS there for Nagne yet.
Oh, another play!
Again, going in on the fight. Kayn going hard. They pull him in for a bit more damage, and they are just constantly pushing these guys out of lane. The Expunge as well, affecting both of them.
Really, really scary for Gambit here. Already this early into the game, they're having so much trouble bottom, they have to call Diamond to try and swing this.
Both mid laners have backed. Throwing on the Doran's rings.
Oh,
That's
no.
going to give Alex HP, but will it give him enough? He dances around the minions to try and get out of this one. I don't think he's got the tap dance for it, though. Nagne takes him down, and they continuously pressure down on that summoner. Summoner's gone mid lane.
This also draws Diamond away from the bottom lane. He can't farm the jungle. He has to show in lane. So NaJin's Sword have complete control right now. They can take advantage knowing there's no more threat can come out of the Fog of War. Beautiful job by Watch here. This is why he was talked up so much for the early ganks. He immediately repeat ganks Alex because the flash is down.
And now with a champion that he can activate some ganks on, he can use the mechanics that Monty was talking about. He already gets his team 3 up, 6 minutes into the game, participated in 2 of those kills. Looks like they are going to secure Dragon sub 7 minutes as well. That's going to be very good for them right now with a 2,500 gold lead, 3,000 gold lead actually.
Grabbing that kill and turning level 6 for Elise, pretty huge for them right there. Very easy Dragon because their bottom lane was winning so easily. If he ganks mid, then that means there's no way that Gambit can come contest it. Bottom lane's losing, mid is dead, and Diamond is in the middle lane here showing. So very, very good capitalization here from NaJin's Sword. Looks like switching up the jungle position to be a much more aggressive jungle, really much more their style, and they feel like they're playing much more of a normal game for them.
So with that, with how NaJin is playing,
Another
oh
play
my
on Voidle.
gosh, Kayn knows he's going to take 70% of his HP, but the Expunge, along with both attacks, allows him to get in. The teleport to the bottom lane,
Big ward.
the Unstoppable Force has been used. Voidle actually goes down. PraY makes sure he makes his mark before he goes into the Death Chamber. They're able to answer with a few kills there, but that was big still. They're getting their kills even in depths.
Yep, and that leaves Expression up top, farming behind the turret here so that every single minion is dying to that turret. And Darien, though he came down and turned it into 2 kills for his team, gonna go down very heavily in CS here as well. Diamond pays for it. By venturing bottom, he loses his topside jungle.
So, as I was saying before that, with all the pressure that NaJin continuously puts on, we've seen Aatrox in the jungle a few times. How does he play with his team from behind? Is he a champion that needs to be ahead to do really well, or is he still going to be able to be what he needs to for his team?
Yeah, without the flash, actually, the surprise ganks from him, they definitely need setting up because it's very hard to get that Q to hit on people that see you coming. He has a very easy time of farming his jungle, but he needs to help all his lanes. So that's why he's, again, rushing this Cutlass. That's going to give him an extra slow.
Okay.
And he's going to have to make Watch, because if Watch is there, the even fights are going to go in NaJin's Sword's favor. This is the most difficult time for a jungler. When all of your lanes are behind, you have to be very careful about where you gank, because if the other jungler counters, you're going to lose.
So, already we see the pink wards coming out again. 2 in that bottom lane, keeping PraY and Kayn safe, with 1 just above them in the mid lane for the rotation as well. They have clear aggression on this turret. Kayn is almost 6 as well, so that may mean something for an initiation there.
And Watch has just shown bottom there as they use the pink ward and clear it out. So it's very dangerous here from Gambit. He even wards behind them to know that this is a safe dive. Oh, Genja face checks it.
Warding your flanks, one of the safest things to do, and it allows them to go even deeper on the fights. Fight Genja 1v1, even in a pile of minions. Watch, almost turning that into a bad situation. Kayn takes another hit. This is going to be an eco. No, he misses Kayn.
Oh, there's
just
a
on the outside. Throws down the ultimate, tries to get himself in. That's the flash we were talking about that he needed. Didn't have to walk
Alex,
it in.
though.
A good ward. The pink wards are actually being used for somewhere they're not really going to be fighting in right now. So a little bit of money may be wasted here, but they'll have control and the guard on this turret.
even with those mobility boots, Diamond was barely able to follow up on that. Again, Watch makes the first move, gets hugely rewarded here. It's been all about initiative in this jungle. Meanwhile, the turret dive that was going on underneath it, another very well played initiation by Kayn. He is. They might start banning out the Thresh. Kayn has just been plays on top of plays in that bottom lane.
Keeping it very safe, especially in the non-sustained lane, to be taking that early level burst from a Corki, from a Sona, and still be able to hold your own. So much play by those two. Much better than last game, and they're coming out on top. 73 to 44 in CS is a bit painful for the AD carries.
Yeah, we saw this was going to happen very early on after Kayn made the initial 2 versus 2 first blood onto Voidle there, and it's been very hard for Genja to get back into it because of the repeat attention they've received. And it doesn't look like NaJin Sword are a team that gives up on a weak lane. They continue to go back again to the bottom lane, just making Voidle. Voidle stays! Genja leaves, Voidle stays.
It's the thing is that one person's making it out, but even if you're the last one in the stampede, you're the one that's going to get caught.
Live, Genja. Live. It was nice knowing you. Voidle dies by his turret.
And that shows just how much control that NaJin has right now. Even with the pink board in the bottom brush, the power that they're holding, Voidle knew. He's like, I'm going to be the second one to leave. I'm still going to die. Genja, you make it out. We'll be able to get mid. Expression answers back with top, and they're still pressuring the second tier.
That's a good thing for, they have jungle Aatrox here. Jungle Aatrox can get plus 90% attack speed with a full Bloodwell and his ultimate activated. That's a huge amount of attack speed for taking out turrets. He does have to worry, though.
Nagne trying to 2v1 with a little bit of help from the turret on his shoulder there.
He's doing it,
too.
The
Bloodwell, he actually gets the 1. That's not enough on the command shockwave, and he actually wins a 2v1 trade. Expression to come up and give him the assist on the shutdown for a 2-kill Aatrox.
NaJin sort of quickly running away with this game here. That was a very beautiful 2 versus 1 from Nagne, setting up that kill onto Diamond. He popped passive. Good rotation down from Expression.
One of the biggest things in League is knowing what you can do in a certain instance. The durability of your champion. Nagne 2v1ing there. Expression, knowing that there was going to be trouble, came down to clean up the kill. It leads to a mid turret now, 4-1 in turrets. The swing has completely been in NaJin's favor now, about 7,000 to 8,000 gold, and Gambit has not been able to grab it back like they did last game. So on their heels, it's going to be Gambit really to make the moves to get back into this one.
Look at the combat effectiveness of these AD carries right now, too. Okay, never mind. Let's look at the 2 versus 1 again. Because we saw Nagne come in. The Ignite last tick gets the passive. So during the revive, he's actually 1 versus 1ing Alex and gets the shockwave out as well.
I like the last Spirit Rush in.
Yeah.
Diamond was like, ooh, he might fight. Oh, wait, they're just baiting me in for that kill in Expression.
Very good rotation down from Expression. He's been able to take that top turret because of all Darien's teleports and also get a nice CS lead.
Something we have to watch as well. That teleport is up. But with that, Expression gets himself a kill, leaving lane, comes back to still be 40 CS in that lane ahead. These guys are really putting their mark on this game.
13 minutes in, Gambit are already feeling pretty desperate here.
Yeah.
They're hoping that Genja can even up or at least close the gap in that CS down there bottom, trying to just get as much as he can, while the rest of the team desperately holds on to what turrets they have left. Right now, if they get into a fight, it's a Corki with Phage versus a Twitch with a Blade of the Ruin King here.
They are on the hunt. Oracle's already out onto Watch here. It's not even 15 minutes in. The hunt is going to find a prize, and it becomes Voidle. Now the 5th time going down in the game, only 14 minutes in. Watch creating these options for his team right now.
And Nagne still has his Deathfire Grass too. So they still have first potential for more picks as the rest of the team rotates down.
We'll see what they can do. They don't have to worry too much. They still have their hard hats on, but they know even a semi-failed dive is going to go in their favor at this point with the lead that they have. The strong 8,000 gold 15 minutes in. Already getting that split push on with Renekton in the top lane. And he's already able to itemize onto that magic resistance, so these guys are almost ready to fight. Continue to take it to the inhibitors.
Sword are not going to let Gambit back in this game either. You can see Watch investing his money into that Oracle's Elixir so that he can continue to play the same style he has been. He clears out all the wards from Gambit so he can, again, make these picks over and over again. Huge, huge vision advantage for NaJin Sword in this top lizard side jungle here. It's very dangerous for anyone on Gambit to be going in there, especially Voidle.
And it's very interesting the way. Oh, Genja.
Good bait.
He's just scratching his nose. He's like, yeah, I see you. Don't worry about it. He gets himself out. And it's interesting to watch, you know, the way that Nagne plays mid. He was down in CS in both games on Alex. Alex actually had the first back, but Nagne's positioned himself, made plays, and been in the plays to still be up. Still not worried that he's down in farm. They kind of know when it's going wrong and when they can be down 20 to 30 CS. Right now it's working out for him.
Oh, Voidle. No, not too close.
They're getting some good takes there. They're wasting the cooldowns.
He was ready.
The flash.
Voidle was ready for that flash there. He knew there was a high percentage chance somebody was waiting in there. Just wanted to get the ward down, but his finger was over flash. PraY looking for that assassination we were talking about. He's stealth next to Diamond. Diamond able to jump out of that barely, though.
And PraY still going for that attack speed build. Looks like he is scaling the Q.
He used his Blade of the Rune King active as well on Diamond in that last try and attempt at a hit.
These guys, they dive this mid turret like you would dive the outer second tier turrets. The ability to go behind the turret's a little harder in mid, but they don't care. They're going to do it anyways. 9-3 there, picking up the 6th turret of the game. The global gold increases even more. And from a game that we had within hundreds of gold, that was even in gold, there's a 10K gold lead now, 16 minutes in for NaJin Sword.
Started very early with the advantage bottom and then just completely got out of hand with Watch's interference. Nagne does not go deep. He is a very safe player. That's what I just learned right there because Genja was very
That was one Foxfire and 3 bolts from an ultimate, so with a Q. That's pretty painful.
He didn't want to overextend. You know, they didn't have any deeper vision, and they were missing 2 members there from Gambit, so.
Gambit not in a position to itemize as well as they did last game. We see Genja still building up to that Triforce. The second core item for PraY almost finished as that critical cloak will come in. He likes to build into the Phantom Dancer, the attack speed twitch that we saw before. Genja with that Phage into a Zeal. 3,000 gold to separate these 280 carries alone.
Yeah, it's definitely a rough game here for Genja. We don't even know if we will see him finish a Trinity Force.
It's a big pressure here by NaJin. They haven't really dictated any kind of central mid push like we saw in the SKT OMG game. They are definitely still respecting the power that Gambit brings. Orianna, Malphite, Aatrox will change a team fight with a crescendo on the backside that you're looking for. So they're doing this methodically and just surgically taking out everything they can without taking too much damage.
The thing is, when you're against a team like Gambit has, who is a huge combo team that relies on the timing with all their ultimates.
Oh my word.
Stacking all these Unstoppable Force and Crescendo and Shockwave and all that.
This is the time to do it.
If you're up against a team that won every single lane, it guarantees all those lanes are pushing. The 3-1-1 split push is very easy to pull off. And NaJin Sword just completely overwhelming Gambit here. There's nothing they can do.
That's right on. Oh no, he turns on the Sands. Gets back, Expression with the ultimate on. He will be all right with Dominus there. It looks like they can't even really hurt him. He's taken 4 members, damages, and cooldowns, and they're walking this one in and out, waiting for Gambit to just spell reel until they can go back in for the fight. You can see that NaJin really isn't even worried about this. Now onto Darien. They're able to take him out instantly. Malphite, the first one to go down. NaJin knows what they can do in this fight. They continue to execute. Darien coming out of Bloodwell, but they get a kill in between that window, and they pressure Gambit off the inhibitor.
Good Shockwave, but everyone else is dead already. NaJin Sword rewarded with the inhibitor. They're so far ahead right now. They could just damage the front line. They poke down Darien from the beginning and then finish him off. A good job of them landing that CC very late on Darien so that by the time he wanted to pop that Unstoppable Force, he was already going down, and they just execute it.
See, goes in quite
Look at
hard.
That flash from PraY, avoiding Diamond's Q, and after that's done, there's no more initiate here because the stun into Cocoon, Darien is not able to have any amount of time to get an unstoppable force off. The charm onto Voidle there was just icing on top of the cake. Diamond goes back in to try and capitalize, but it's over from here.
That NaJin is pressuring these fights perfectly. Voidle was in his own base, and after that crescendo, he had 0 mana. It's unfortunate, but NaJin's forcing them into those fights.
You have to shout out the coordination here from NaJin.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Being able to poke down a tank, an initiation tank like that, and then commit your damage to him with your CCs is very, very bold here. If they had let, a split second in between of those CCs, he could have gotten his unstoppable force off and done his whole combo. And that's basically what Malphite wants to do.
Oh, baby!
Looking for more.
There it goes. Expunge. No, he doesn't actually get the ending damage. Oh! It's forcing the flash, though. Good guy Diamond was about to take that hook.
Yeah, we said, PraY's going to be looking for those solo assassinates, and he definitely feels confident now because he has his favorite combo of the Blade of Ruin King and Phantom Dancer on top of that red buff. They get the flash from Alex.
Let's take stock of what is going on here. Expression running rampant in the top lane, 205 CS to his lane partner, 150 on Darien. We also see it's kind of matched up back and forth on the lanes. 102 CS for Diamond to 70 in the jungle, 177 to 159, which Nagne has been closing in on. Darien, again, hit up first.
So the thing about the CS here between the jungles is actually, Diamond wasn't even hard farming his jungle.
Right.
It was because Watch was making the first moves on his ganks, he would kill the laner, and then Diamond would have to show up in that lane to hold the lane. The extra farm he has is just lane farm because he was late. PraY again, right next to everyone.
Just, whoa, he gets hit in the face with the unstoppable force, but he's brought back into the fight by Kane. A great move there. He actually picks up a kill off of it as well. Amazing coordination in the team fight.
Yeah, we finally got to see the long range Dark Passage there. It's so late though that NaJin Sword, they definitely didn't even really need that huge play, but they're going to walk this one in. Genja continuing to run from the giant crocodile.
And you even said it, Kobe, he's a bit behind on that build. 22 minutes in, we've seen 13-minute Triforces come out.
Land.
They are making sure to put the entire team of Gambit on an island here in each one of their lanes.
Second inhibitor is going to go down here. 3 members up. Alex going to revive soon. They might be able to defend their double Nexus turrets. NaJin Sword could play safe here, and they do. They're just going to take that gold and not throw away their advantage.
This is the momentum now coming in as we see
PraY
this
goes
fight.
in right next to Malphite. He says, okay, you're gonna unstoppable force me? Not scared. Meanwhile, Voidle on the other side was 100% bursted down through the seed there. Even though he got off the crescendo, there was no hope for Gambit coming back from that one. Diamond didn't follow up on that unstoppable force either. He used the Dark Flight to run away.
Yeah. I thought they had it in the beginning there. It was a great pressure out by Darien. But the plays and coordination coming in very strong. NaJin, with that one game under their belt on the stage, seems like they have warmed up quite a bit here and are able to stop the momentum of Gambit throughout these group stages.
Yeah, definitely their bottom lane showed up big.
Yep.
Their jungler, a new face here with Elise rather than Nunu, and it's completely different team here.
The kills spread out a little better for them, beating out everybody at 2-0 and 5 in the top, 3-0 and 8 for the jungler. They are getting the kills onto Nagne this game at 6-0 and 5. Everybody enough kills to be thousands of gold over their opponents right now, and they are now going to focus this bottom lane as the map is objective free and only turrets and inhibitors in their eyes. 3 more stand on the map for Gambit, and they're going to try to hold strong.
All right, Genja has finished his Trinity Force, so he at least got to get that item one time here, and they actually have a good amount of burst now. If they can actually land this CC combo, they will have a chance at taking out PraY, but if they are not able to capitalize on it, it's just going to be NaJin Sword walking in.
One turret goes down, a nice crescendo by Voidle, but he goes down. Was it in vain? Watch is now into the fight. Alex Ich gets exploded instantly. Not the Zhonya's there to be activated. Genja on the back line is trying to get back into the fight. It's going to be an ace. The double kill coming out big for PraY. Very well played and a complete change in mindset, gameplay, and play style from NaJin here in Game 2.
And Gambit finally got to try and pull off their combo right there, but it was not enough. They're just way too far behind in items at this point. Congratulations, NaJin Sword.
That's all she wrote for Game 2, ladies and gentlemen. We take it to a Game 3. NaJin Sword turning it up a notch here in Game 2 to bring it to 1-1 in the best of 3 series.
It's just got a whole lot more exciting.